Welcome everybody. How you doing? Thanks for joining me. Hello, Jackie. Good morning. Feel free to say hello. Maybe let us know where you guys are joining from so we can see where in the world we're coming together from. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Jackie, and friends. Good morning, Jackie. Jackie, been a while since I've seen you, I feel. Yeah, I've been I was on vacation 2 weeks ago. Last week I was sick and I had to cancel one or two sessions, I don't remember. And yeah, and then Monday was Halloween and I didn't come here on Monday. So yeah, it's been a while. So thank you guys for your patience and thanks for joining today. Kay Grand Rising, nice to see you. If this is your first time with me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I've been trying on a bunch of different labels lately. I am a Reiki master teacher, but it's more than that. So I was calling myself an energy intuitive for a little bit. I might be a spiritual problem solver, who knows, whatever, all of the above. I'm here to teach you guys how to be the best version of yourselves by sharing how I am becoming the best version of myself. So there you go. That's it in a nutshell. Who else is here? Bonnie says all the Jackies are here. I love it. Sadie, hello. Good afternoon from the UK. Welcome, welcome. Katie, good morning from Nebraska. Welcome. I'm from Northern Illinois. If I didn't mention that, I can't remember. Miriam, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Chandra, I'm feeling better. I'm still on my way up. My husband is sick too, so I think a little bit of that sympathy pain is going on, but I am much better than I was last week. Thank you. AJ says good morning. Katie, I think I got your cold, Jackie. Oh, where did that go? I got sick last week and I'm getting over it now. Interesting. That's really funny. One of my friends who I wasn't like, I was out of town when I got sick and she was back home, and we both got sick on the same day and started getting better on the same day. Energy is crazy. It connects in many different ways. Hello, Marie from Germany. Welcome. Jackie's doing well. Bought our house on October 12th, so lots of fun getting settled in. Congratulations, Jackie. What a beautiful next step, right? It's just a new chapter. Very exciting. Congrats. Stephanie, good morning. Hello, Joy. Jane, good morning, Jackie and everyone. Dorothy, hi from Scotland. I have COVID this week, but getting better. Lovely. Just intending to heal. Thanking your body for using its beautiful immune system to get rid of whatever's in your body and taking the time. I know it sucks. Being sick sucks. It's not fun at all, but I was able to get through these past couple weeks literally just by thanking my body for all of the hard work that it was doing, and just accepting the fact that like I'm sick now, not fighting it, just accepting what is because I know it's not forever. Good morning, Jackie. Who's Jackie is nickname? Mine is from Jacqueline, but no one pronounces the QU part, so I... What, Jackie? My full name was Jacqueline, but when I got married, I dropped that. So my legal first name now is Jackie, and it feels so good. I never went by Jacqueline. And it always got so confusing with like bills and like medical paperwork. Like, I don't know if you call me Jackie or Jacqueline on your system, but my name is Jackie. Sharon says good morning. Good morning, Sharon. Hello, Dr. Monica. And hello, Michael. Welcome. So, normally, this part of my reading is when I talk about what's going on in the skies, but I'm overwhelmed with what's going on in the skies. There's nothing really like crazy important happening this week, so I wanted to take a break from astrology because there's a lot more to life than astrology, I guess sometimes. We've come off of a lot of intensity. We're going into an intense week next week, and it came up with one of my clients who follows me here on Insight Timer, and she asked for some oracle tips. She asked, can you show us how to shuffle cards? And I had to laugh because when I first started reading these things, I had to literally YouTube how to shuffle tarot cards. And I, like whatever, sometimes you just don't know. You see people do it all fun and fancy. So I figured I would just give you guys a little breakdown of how I choose my oracle decks, how I use my oracle decks, and then see whatever resonates with you guys. Let's see, Jackie says, mine is from Jacqueline. Between my mom and friends, I've heard all versions of Jacqueline. Dorothy, I've surrendered and been good to have time out and rest, though I wouldn't have wished it. Of course, no one wishes to get sick, but everything happens for us, not to us, right? Hello, Christine. Did you just have your daughter's wedding? Was it this past weekend, or is it this upcoming weekend? Jackie says, I like the name Jacqueline, but people always pronounce it sounding similar to Jacqueline. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Is it Jacqueline or Jacqueline? Or yeah. Hello, S. Violet, my name on my birth certificate is Violetta, and I legally changed it to Violet when I got married to stop people from calling me Viola. I love it. Okay, Christine, your daughter is getting married this Sunday. How exciting. Very exciting. Best of luck to her. So let's talk Oracle, guys. How the heck? Well, let's go basic. What are Oracle cards? If you've been following me here, you see me pulling all of these cards from all of these decks, and I'm reading all of these messages. And when it comes down to it, Oracle cards are just a set of wisdom nuggets that this author, whoever the author is, has compiled together in order to help you receive answers from your guides. They're a tool of speaking with the universe. They're a way of, allowing your guides to like throw messages in your face that are a little more easier to understand than, repeating numbers or license plates or something like that. Oh, you're welcome, Christine. Kay says I shuffle backwards. I shuffle with my non-dominant hand into my dominant hand. Can't do it the other way. Interesting. Very interesting. So my personal experience with Oracle and Tarot, I've never been trained by anyone to do any of this. I've just observed how other people do it, and then I took what they were doing and I tried it out, and I took what resonated and I left the rest. And I really think that that's the only way to do all of this stuff. We're all intuitive, right? We all have an intuition. It just depends on how much you need to dig up before you can access it. So trust that you are intuitive. Trust that you know what to do. And sometimes it's all about just trying some things on and letting other things go. So when I started getting into Oracle cards and Tarot cards, astrology has always been a really big theme for me. Like one of my niches is astrology, and then another one was chakras. Like the chakras made sense to me. So when I first started looking for decks, I was actually gifted. I don't know if you guys remember this deck. It's been a long time. I used to pull from this Moon Magic deck a lot, and we would get cards like the moon in Sagittarius and like the moon in Aries and what else? Yeah, dark moon. So I picked this deck because the moon made sense to me. I understood astrology. I understood the moon phases. So I would choose this deck to read sometimes because I would ask a specific question and it would tell me, moon in Sagittarius. Okay, so your emotions need to not be so attached to things, like be the wanderer in the situation. So that's why, I would choose to read from Moon Magic. I had another thought, and it's escaping me. I prepared no notes for this, guys. This is Jackie literally rambling. Hello, Anique. Welcome. And then I have already rehomed this deck, but I had my chakra wisdom cards, and the cards were, there'd be like 5 cards for each chakra. So I would just, the question. Going into an oracle reading, it's very important to have a question, because if you are not direct with what you're looking for, the message that comes out isn't really going to mean anything. It's not going to be tied to anything. So you can go in with a question as strong as like, what is the best way for me to use this new piece of information that I got, right? Like you might find something out about your job that upsets you. So you can pull out an oracle deck and like, how would this information best serve me? And then you pull a card and you get it. So Anik, your rambles are purposeful. Thank you. And yes, there's a lot to do with astrology. And like I'm saying, that is something that resonated with me. So that's why I started using astrology decks. Rambling equals channeling. I like that too. Thank you. Sometimes. So whatever it is that you are drawn to when you're at a shop, so there may be metaphysical shops near you. And as I've discovered with one of my clients, there's so many shops that are hidden in our towns that we would never think are metaphysical shops. So that was 11:11 on the clock, right when I said that on our session timer. So if you're looking for a place to get into all of this stuff, oracle, tarot, even crystals, hop on Google, right? Type in metaphysical shop near me, crystal shop near me, rock shop near me, and just see what comes up. So you can go into these stores, literally take a look at all the decks that are there, and if you're drawn to something, pick up the deck, look at the front, right? So this one I've been looking at for a long time. I'd go to shops, I'd look at the front, I'd say, okay, I really like astrology, I really like the sacred geometry going on. I would look at the back, and I'm a pretty frugal person, you know, so sometimes when decks were over $20, I'd say that's not for me right now. And this deck just kept calling me and calling me and calling me. And then I got an email from Hay House, which I'll talk about in a second, and they were doing a huge sale on decks, so I think I got this one for $10. But that's the thing, when you are connected to something, when you invite something into your life, without putting the negative, you know, I wouldn't beat myself up like, oh, it's too expensive, I can't get it. I would just know, like, no, it's not the right time. And then it made its way back into my life. Trying to think of where I want to go with this. So we talked about what oracle cards are, how to structure a reading, right? Going in with a question. But then let's talk, because first you got to find a deck before you go into the question. So it all depends on the energy that you are trying to get out of your questions. Like, what type of energy are you looking for in receiving an answer? So if you've been following me here for a while, I usually start my sessions by talking about what's going on in the skies. And after, because I make notes before all my sessions, so I don't do this ramble thing. And then I feel into the energy of what's happening. So my Venus deck is Work Your Light, Rebecca Campbell. The messages that come out of this deck are very spiritual, woo-woo, like they're not practical messages. These are very I don't know how to put the energy into words. These are like the age of light. Like, that's not a very practical, that's not a grounded card. This is like a Piscean, Venusian, way up in the clouds, like birthing a new age, you know. So some shops have decks that are demo, and you can like flip through the cards and you can get a feel for if the images make sense for you. Okay, like some of them, the different artwork, ethereal. Thank you, Dr. Monica. Stephanie, you've been looking at that Astro Codes. Yeah, it's a great deck. It's great. So it's either going to metaphysical shops and like looking at them in person. I've even gotten a couple decks at Borders. Or is Barnes and Noble? One of them closed, one of them still open. But yeah, like a giant bookstore. I've picked up oracle decks there. It doesn't matter where you buy them. And it doesn't matter like how well known the author is either. If it resonates with you, if it just feels right, then it's for you. I went through a little bit of like a Native American phase, like I was connecting with that native spirit. So that's when I picked up the Native Spirit deck and this Angels and Ancestors deck. And I choose to pull from these when the energy feels more grounded, when it seems like we're being pulled toward a basic way of living, a simple way of living. I pull messages from these because these are very earthy, right? Eagle medicine. what's this one? Warrior of the Heart. This is all just Native American offerings, okay? Freedom Horse, you know, it's the energy behind the deck. It's hard sometimes to put this into words because energy is higher than words. Or sometimes if there is a large change going on in the skies, and if we're coming into, I use these animal decks a lot when we're going into like a new season, like Venus is entering Scorpio. All right, so throughout that time, which animal spirit can we embody in order to use this energy to our highest and greatest good? So I hope this is coming through. It makes sense to me, but it's about the energy behind the deck. It's not necessarily the exact deck. It's not the exact author. It's just how it resonates in comparison to what type of answers you're looking for. Let me go back and see what you guys have been chatting about here. Yes, Violet, Hay House. I love Hay House. So Louise Hay is an author, and she has her own story that I don't know off the top of my head, but she's a fantastic spiritual writer who has created this large publishing company called Hay House. Hay House publishes a lot of the popular oracle decks that you may be seeing all over the place. So going right to that website of Hay House, oftentimes they'll do these sales where you can get decks for $10, $12, whatever. And you know, I wonder if they're damaged on purpose because I don't remember which one it was. Oh, I just got this Moonology deck from Hay House, and some of the cards are like clearly damaged. But I don't care, you know, there's a reason why those specific cards are damaged. And there's a reason when they come out that, you know what I'm saying? But Hay House is a great way to just get to the source. B and N still lives. What's B and N, Jackie? Angels and Ancestors is one of my favorites. Yeah, and then sometimes you might come to find that you are drawn to a specific author. Like, which one was it? First, I got this Gateway of Light Oracle activation, and again, I was just at the store, this image caught my eye for whatever reason, right? Like, some things will catch your eye for a reason. So I picked it up, I looked at the back, and then you can get a preview of the cards. The shops that I have available to me do not do demo decks, which whatever. I would prefer to be able to flip through all the cards, but this tells me that, you know, these 4 cards are really calling to me. And then it just felt right, so I brought this one home. And then the next week I went to a different store and I happened to find this Angels and Ancestors deck. And then I brought them both home, and I was like, oh, get out. They're both Kyle Gray. I never knew who Kyle Gray was, but I was just drawn to both of these decks. Similarly with Denise Lynn. I have 2 of hers. Where's the other one? Or was it Denise Lynn? Oh, no, never mind. That was another story. Christine, I just bought that Moonology deck. I like it. Oh, Anik, Barnes & Noble. Thank you, BNN. Yes, yes, yes. Violet has Moonology from there. Mine wasn't damaged, though. Then there's a reason why my cards came damaged, right? Anik, I had that experience with the Radiant Tarped for creativity. I kept walking away from it in Barnes & Noble, then kept coming back, even though I have no idea how to read or use cards. It came home with me. Exactly, and I didn't bring it with me, but there is a deck. When I first started diving into these oracle decks, I brought home a Vedic astrology deck, and I opened it, and it was so complicated. You know, it's not just like these like 56 cards with a booklet. No, it's like you have to learn about the deck before you can use it. And it's been years, and it's sitting in a closet, and I know it's there. It's just not time to use it yet, and that's okay. There's a reason why I found it. There's a reason why I brought it home, and it will come out. It will come out in time. Oh, Shauna, grateful to join this morning, finding more than I hoped for. Love this sharing. Okay, cool. I'm glad that this is helping you guys. Oh, beautiful. Christine, the shop I went to had demo decks. Yeah, I love it. I love being able to flip through, because then you get a feel for if the pictures are speaking to you, you know, if the images are speaking to you, if the energy of the cards is aligning with you. Michael says Earth Warrior deck is my absolute favorite. Got it for the artist. Oh, okay, but the reads are amazing by Alana Fairchild. Thank you, Michael. Kyle does a lot of teaching on how to use the cards. Thanks, Dorothy. That's awesome. Good for him. Stephanie, Moonology has helped me understand the moon cycles, and when I use them as oracle cards, it always has a powerful message. Absolutely. Yeah, and some of these decks too, like Kyle Gray's decks, talk about different like star systems, like the Anunnaki light codes, you know, and then you read the message in the book and you just discover things about spiritual topics, you know. Hathor light codes, like that card has come up. I didn't know who Hathor was. Yeah. So sometimes a deck will resonate with you even if you don't understand all of the cards. But that's why these cards come with these beautiful little guidebooks, okay? I learned tarot before I learned how to read oracle cards. When I was learning tarot, every single person that I would, you know, look to for how to read tarot, they would all say, take that guidebook and throw it away. Use your intuition. Let your intuition guide you through the tarot. And I, you know, that's how I choose to read tarot. I use my intuition. But when it comes to oracle, these artists have put so much work into these messages. Any card that you open has like so much information. And I know how it goes when I ramble, right? Like I have a lot to say. They have a lot to say, and one or two things might be the things that spark your next move. So I choose when I read oracle cards to literally read everything that the author intended with their card. However, if you are a person who chooses one oracle deck that you feel very strongly connected to, it might be that you develop such a deep understanding with that one deck that you don't use the guidebook and you just understand what that author is trying to put through with those cards. That's like all of this stuff that I'm telling you, there's no rules to oracle. There's no right or wrong way of how to read it. It's all individual based on your intuition. I'm just sharing with you guys how I do it. Hopefully might be answering some of the questions that you've been having. Christine, that's how I feel about moonology, just not understanding or feeling it yet. I love that word yet at the end. Yeah, it'll come in time. Jackie, I've realized that I have to buy smaller cards. My Chakra Insight Oracle cards are really difficult to shuffle. Great segue, Jackie. Let's talk about shuffling the cards. There's lots of different ways to shuffle your Oracle cards also. Stephanie, yes, I agree. I learned so much from these decks. Jane, I never thought of using decks as a learning tool about the subject. Great idea. Yeah, and it'll, especially when you're able to tie the message to a personal experience, right? So let's say you ask a question about my love life, and then some Lemurian card comes up, then it's easier for you to retain who the Lemurians are because you're linking it to a personal experience, if that makes sense. It's not just like reading about them in a book for some reason. You're asking a question and your guides are throwing that card out at you saying like, here, this is what will help you through this. Okay, it's all your way. Absolutely. Christine, thank you, Jackie. This is also helpful. Lovely. Anit, could this be a new course for you, Jackie? Learning how to read tarot? Maybe. Maybe. I have a lot on my plate right now, and I'm a very excited teacher, so I will often jump on a lot of things, but I feel like I have like 6 projects going on right now, and I want to start actually delivering to you guys and not just talking about the stuff anymore. But yeah, maybe down the line, a tarot course will be in order. Okay, so how to shuffle your decks. So we can talk about small decks and then we'll talk about larger decks. One last tidbit. When I first started, okay, and this is for me reading for other people. I do, with tarot, it's harder to read for myself because I'm the interpreter and my ego can still get in the way reading for myself. When I read for others, you know, it's just like a free flow. These are the messages. That's what it is. When I read oracle for myself, again, I find it's a lot easier to read for myself because the guidebook comes with this giant message, right? So it's harder for my ego to twist it to be good for me because the message is there. So when I first started, I was buying all of these decks to read for myself. And then I started gaining clients that I was reading for. And then I started gaining male clients. And some of these, like, woo-woo decks, just, because not everyone is super woo-woo. Some people want a card, but they don't want to get into the touchy-feely stuff. So then I went to the store intending to find a more masculine deck, and that's where Attracting Abundance came from, because this seemed like a very neutral, could read for anyone. You don't have to be super spiritual to digest it. So I just wanted to mention that as well. However, these cards are pretty like a card deck. They fit right in, because I have small hands. I'm 5'3", by the way. I'm a small person. When I shuffle cards like this, I will hold them long ways in my dominant hand. Again, there's no right or wrong way. This is just how I do it. And I hold mostly with my middle finger and thumb. The ring finger is there for support. And I toss the first few into my other hand. So I toss, and then I toss in the front again, and I toss in the front, and sometimes they fall. I toss, and I toss, and I toss. That's my most comfortable way of shuffling cards like this. So you could practice with literally a deck of cards if you want to learn this method, but it's just like a loose hold in my dominant hand. I toss a few, and then I go back to the front, and I toss a few, go back to the front. So I used to watch people doing this, and I thought that they were tossing in between. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa, that's so cool. And maybe some people do that, but that's just the way that feels most comfortable in my hands, is to toss in front. And then I straighten them out, and then I toss, 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 toss. Okay? Sometimes when you do that, just like you saw, some cards don't want to go through, and they fly out of the deck. So I had 2 cards that flew out of the deck. Oftentimes, I will take that as, okay, that's the message for today. So, attune and balance. That's what my guides want me to know, literally right now, as I'm talking to you guys. This is my own rule of thumb that I picked up from another person who I watch reading cards. If 1 card falls out, that's a message. If 2 cards fall out, that's a message. If 3 cards fall out, it's too many. It's a muddled message. It's too much going on at once. That's just what I chose to adopt as my way. Sunspots, and the audio is patchy. Thanks, Wade. Is the audio patchy for anyone else? If so, that sucks. This will be on YouTube. How many cards fall? How do you know? If many cards fall, how do you know which one is for you? Okay, cool. So Christine, yeah, if it's more than 2 cards, I throw them back in, and I keep shuffling until 1 or 2 fall out. That's not always the case, though. Okay, thank you guys. Sorry, Wade. Wade, maybe you gotta back out and come back in. Let me see if anyone else had... Alright, cool. Like a more regular sized oracle card. This is the Rebecca Lynn. I feel like this is like the standard oracle card size. And these, they're much taller, right? So when I shuffle with these, instead of trying to hold them on the top and bottom, I hold them on the sides, and I do the same thing, but just vertical instead of horizontal. And I toss in the front. And sometimes I would be hanging out at night watching TV, and I just have a deck in my hand and going really slow, watching it. But the more you do it, the more it makes sense. Sometimes when I pick it up, I just did it right there, kind of on accident, but my hands will form around and I don't pick them all up, and that's okay. There's a reason. Just go with it. Don't overthink it. Okay? You can also go into the regular... some people don't like bending their decks, but that's a personal preference, right? If something is worn, to me, that shows that like you're using it, that you care about it. I also have a little bit of, like, I don't like when my cards face the opposite way. So you can, if you want to shuffle them like a regular card deck. That's another way to shuffle your Oracle cards. Okay, get them back up. And you don't always have to have a card fall out for you. You still can split your deck to find your answer. So shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. You get it. My way of doing it is I'll move them around so that it straightens out the whole deck, so there's not, a couple cards pulling out, and then I'll just split the deck. However, you see how you got that little space right there? I won't take that. I'll do it again. It wasn't a clear split. Nope, it's still sticking out. Do it again. Clear split. Okay, that's how, and then I'll choose this card. And again, some people will do that. They'll put it into 3 piles, and then they stack, 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 and then they pull whatever's on top. Like, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Whatever feels right to you is the right way to do it. That's the beauty about this stuff. These are tools, but there's no one way to use the tools. I think that's pretty cool. And then sometimes you get these giant cards. I think these are pretty big, maybe. Yeah, this is my Zen of Animals deck. And these cards are very large. Okay, these are like I could barely hold them. So you also you could just lay these out on the floor or on the table, and you can mush them all around, and then just use your intuition to see which card is calling, like which card just looks like it wants to be picked up. Pick it up. And if it doesn't make sense, you can always ask like a clarifying question. Like you could always ask the deck to, can you clarify, or can you give me another angle, or like how else can you describe that to me? Jackie, can you talk about how to pose the question? It's best not to be a yes or no question, right? It can be. It can be. The way that I pose, this is like all of my spiritual questions, not just tarot oracle, but this has to do with all of the ways that, like when I'm asking for signs, when I go into the Akashic Records, I always pose questions asking for, like, what is the best way to XYZ? Or like, if I make this choice, what does the outcome look like? It's really hard for your guides to answer, like, should I stay or should I go? Because the word should, like, there is nothing that you should ever do. Whatever choice you make is the right choice. It's just going to lead you to a different path and a different obstacle or a different lesson or a different blessing or whatever. So when you ask these questions, if you want to know like how to do something, you can ask along the lines of like, what message can you give me that will serve my highest good in XYZ situation? Or if you are just looking for some type of guidance, like what message would serve me best today? What message could I embody today to walk on my highest path? Always intending a question for the highest and greatest goods. Sometimes if you do ask a yes or no question, the cards, unless the deck has a card that literally says yes or no, you're not going to get that yes or no answer. But it's all about the energy of the cards, right? What would be a yes or no question? I'm trying to think of one. Cards are also not really good at like predicting the future because there's so many different timelines happening all of the time. So asking like, is this going to happen? Or like, will this turn out this way? Those are difficult questions to answer because there's lots of different factors that go into it. Roxanne, huge cards. Thanks, Jackie, for showing the basics of shuffling. You're welcome. You're welcome. I always say over and over again, what does Spirit want me to know? I like that. Thank you for sharing that, Em. Monica uses a pendulum for yes-no questions. Thank you, Monica. That's a whole nother class. Will I meet my soulmate? Yes or no? Well, Stephanie, I always think that that's a yes. Will you know that it's your soulmate? That's a different question. Let's see, Stephanie, when I first bought cards, I found a site that had wicked deals. Turns out the site was selling knockoffs. Smaller sized, paper quality, and no guidebook. As a beginner, it was really frustrating. It got better along the way. My connection has grown. Now I know where to go for legit cards. Sure, sorry that happened to you, Stephanie. That is super frustrating. But there's a reason, right? There's a reason for everything. What about suggestions for connecting with your ancestors, Jackie? So you can, when you ask your question, you can intend who you are asking. Oftentimes I leave it literally open to the universe because I have a relationship with the universe and my guides, and I know that they're always here. But if you want to ask to connect with your ancestors, you can tune in. It doesn't matter what deck you're using. Whatever deck resonates with you is the way that you can even go to the store and tune into your ancestors as you walk in and ask them, like, which deck do you want to communicate with me? Like, which deck do you want me to get in order for us to have a good relationship? And then whatever calls to you. Oh my gosh, when I was working on developing my intuition, that phrase would drive me nuts. Whatever calls to you. But it really is that easy. It literally is that easy. It's just, you got to stop second guessing yourself. There's a reason why that one deck is appealing to you. It's calling to you. Stop overthinking it. And then when you use that deck, you can tune into your ancestors. Today I am asking my ancestors blah, 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 blah. Does that make sense? Not sure what question to ask? All right, ancestors, what do you got for me today? What serves my highest good today? I'm a very laid-back spiritual person. I don't think it always needs to be this like ritualistic, having your space set and like praying over it and everything. Like, sure, that's great to have that practice when the time is right. I have a really good laid-back relationship with my guides, so I can throw out random questions like that. Like, I could be having a really terrible day and run to my deck and be like, all right, like, what do you want me to know? Like, it's very, laid-back, relatable. So just ask what you want to ask. Pretend you're talking to a human, right? That you would ask a question about, and just throw it out to whoever you are connecting with at that time. Violet and Jackie, thank you very much for your donations. They're very much appreciated all of the time. Christine, can you pick out a deck for another person trying to feel their energy? I have been gifted decks, yes. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not, but like nothing is stopping you from gifting a deck to someone. And if a deck reminds you of a person really strongly, there's a reason. Maybe it's meant for them right now, maybe it's meant for them in the future. Absolutely. Good question. Dorothy, learning to trust our intuition takes practice, and then you develop muscle memory. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then tarot, guys, is a whole nother thing. Maybe that'll be another day. We'll save that for another day. I do want to do a reading for you all. I think I'm just going to pull one card for today to wrap it up. Let me know if you guys have questions before I jump into that. Stephanie, this will be a group card. The way that I run all of my readings are group readings. I feel like we have cultivated a very beautiful, energetic community here. So I'll pull one card for the collective today. If you guys haven't followed me yet on Insight Timer, feel free to give me a follow. You can also offer a donation if you'd like to offer an energy exchange here if you're able. If you would like to stay connected with these oracle readings on days that you're not able to make it, I have a group on Insight Timer called Our Spiritual Community. So you can hop into my group, and I put updates. Every time we do an oracle reading, I put a little recap in Our Spiritual Community. And I also invite you guys to share what you're learning, ask your questions there, share the meditations that you find on Insight Timer. It's a nice little group. What else? I put these replays on my YouTube channel. So if you wanna listen back to anything we talked about, just search my name on YouTube and you can find me there. Nicole, thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Roxanne, my late mother, was a tarot reader with a vast collection of cards. Her favorite was the Thoth deck and the Waite deck. Yes, Rider-Waite. I think everyone who reads tarot. I got a little mini guy. I love this one. This is like the original tarot deck, and then there's a whole bunch around it. I love it. That it's in your lineage, right? Dorothy, after shuffling, which card do you choose? Top of the deck or just one that calls? If the top of the deck is talking to you, pull from the top of the deck. And try different things too. Like I showed how if a card falls, but this is me just being Jacqui, okay? There's no right way to do it. When I read Oracle, I wait for them to fly out of the deck. That's the way that I shuffle. I do that chaotic shuffle, right? And sometimes cards fall out. I wait for cards to fly out when I read Oracle. You don't have to do it that way. When I read Tarot, which is separate, I shuffle until I just feel that I'm done shuffling. I have a little pattern. It's the energy feels right. I know that the deck is ready. I split it until I get a clear split. If there's cards that are like interfering with the split, it doesn't feel right to me. So I'll put it back down. I'll usually shuffle it 3 more times, and then I split, and whatever the bottom part is, that's where I start pulling my cards. So, I mean, how I learned is I started to watch other people, and I would try out their technique. There's nothing wrong with that. No one owns their way of reading cards. You're not going to like steal someone's stuff if you read cards the same way that they do. It's just you're observing how they use a tool. Just like musicians, right? Like not everyone plays an instrument the same way. Some people do crazy stuff with it, and then others watch that, they try it on their own, and then they morph it to make it their own way. Like that's the beauty of being a creative being. So yeah, try different things and just see what feels right. See what makes sense to you, just what feels right to you. Yeah, and keep watching. Keep watching others. Thank you, Anik. I appreciate it. Jacqui, I'm glad this session has been so informative. You're very welcome. Dr. Monica, questioning whether it is in my best interest to go to El Salvador or stay with the chiropractic this month. And how long to go, or just take a local trip by myself. Let's see what our card says about that today. Let's see if that gives you any energy about the situation. Oh, that's one last thing I wanted to say about reading Oracle, because, like I said, I read the whole book. I read the whole message that comes in the book. And there are so many words when you read that. And oftentimes there's like one sentence that just pings and it sticks out, and I know that that message is important just because it resonates. I read it and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I remember that one message. Other times, and this is especially when I read from decks that I have an understanding of the subject, like astrology and moon stuff makes sense to me. So when I read from this deck, it's more the energy behind the card. This is something that is happening in my life all over the place. I'm having a hard time finding words for an energy behind something. So that's what I tune to with Oracle cards. It's not necessarily it's not every single sentence that has to play into your situation. It's the whole energy, the whole feel behind the card. Like the big picture is usually the answer to your questions. Let's see what else. Stephanie, I bought my first one from a local shop when I was in my late teens. My mother was so freaked out and wouldn't allow it in my home. I just started getting reconnected recently. Yeah, tarot cards have a bad rap. A lot of this stuff has a bad rap because it's a tool. You can use a tool for good. You can use a tool for bad. Nothing in this world is good or bad until we deem it so. Which is a big message that's coming through on Monday. So come back on Monday for our lunar eclipse reading. But yeah, things can be used for good or things can be used for bad. Okay, my first tarot deck, the card would not jump out for me. They forced me to learn to trust my intuition and what felt right. Beautiful, beautiful. Jacqui just had one fly out. I love it. Stephanie, the Rider-Waite deck came in a mini pocket-sized deck, so I was able to tuck it away when my mother was around. I love it. Okay, sometimes now they jump out, but they still put a lot of emphasis on trusting myself. Yeah, I got it. That's funny. Jacqui, I think it was cause of your shuffling tip. I used to do it the way you thought people you were watching. Another one, too, that I'll do sometimes. No, this one I can only do with a smaller deck. And this is actually a technique that I just picked up the other day. I was in the middle of a tarot reading with a client, and, you know, like they were describing what's going on, and I always shuffle the cards as I'm listening to them to, like, shuffle their energy into the deck. And for some reason, my hands started, like, I would do my same thing, but I would go in the front, and then I would flip it over, go in the back, and then I'd go front, and then I'd go back. And something about that felt right at that time. So, yeah, lots of different ways. Front, back, front, back. Oh, the Knight of Cups. Traveling. Knights have to do with traveling, exploration, beginning of a journey. Cups are emotions and intuition. Oh, Jacqui, this is your next step of awakening your intuition. That's what I got out of that. Roxanne says, my mother was also a celebrated astrologer. She passed before I could learn from her, but I feel her around me when I call to her. I love it. Yes, she is here guiding you, whether you know it or not. Love it. We're going to pull a card, just one, from the Gateway of Light activation. I just felt called to this deck. So I'll pull one card for the collective, every single beautiful soul who is present with us today. You're welcome, Jacqui. Shauna pulled from Mindful Messages, Sacred Rebels, and Chakra cards. Exactly what I needed to hear on all levels this morning. So thank you again. This has been so informative. Lovely. I'm really glad that this is resonating with you guys. Aw. I guess another reason, too, why I read from these books all of the time is, like, I have so many decks. I don't read every day for myself. Most of the time, it's all for Insight Timer and for clients, and, like, every once in a while, I'll run to my cards for an answer. So I don't have these memorized, and I don't plan on having these memorized, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because there's so much work that's put into these cards, you know? One day, I will create a deck one day. I have a friend that we've talked about doing it. She's an artist. I'm the woo-woo. It'll happen. All right, guys. Our message today is the Star Being Healing Codes. Important information. Wounds are healed. Recharging. There are many names for star beings, such as ETs, star people, star ancestors, sky people, and more. Whatever they are called, they are divinely inspired, evolved beings, existing in dimensions that we can't comprehend. They are the overseers of the cosmos, and like angels, are divine expressions of the heart of Source, who are dedicated to the well-being of the entire universe. They aren't limited by time or space, for they are from a higher dimension. Their frequency healings are received on a spiritual level and can then move through our energy centers to affect the physical. These cosmic beings are our interplanetary cousins and are now coming to many souls on Earth in support of healing, expansion, and harmony. Star beings exist in multiple forms and come from many different universes, but this card is a gateway that transports us to one of their healing sanctuaries. It is a gateway that is open to many different star beings, and so it doesn't stipulate which cosmic race is coming to us, but we will be receiving healing codes directly from cosmic guides. I just got chills. The healing can be emotional, physical, or spiritual. However it comes, know that it's a great blessing. Ooh. If the world seems overwhelming or intense at this time, know that it's okay for you to retreat to a safe space to cleanse and recharge your energy. You may feel called to be a healer for others and share healing with the world, but please ensure that you are balanced and filled up with light first. This is not the time for you to sacrifice your own well-being in order to serve others. Light beings are placing their hands upon you now, filling you with divine light that will wash away any blockages or stagnant energy standing in the way of your freedom and wholeness. Star beings are channeling healing codes and frequencies into your being, and it's important for you to stay alert for any intuitive guidance about your body so you can be restored to health once more. Stop, look, and listen is what's coming to mind. This is an invitation to pause, trusting that star beings, right? They go by many different names, but star beings are attempting to help you right now. They want to send healing codes to you. They're called healing codes because they are energetic forms from higher dimensions that just don't translate into our 3D world right now. So they are sending you healing. They invite you to take time for yourself. Even if you are feeling very strongly pulled to heal others, they are inviting you to take time for yourself. Fill your own cup, fill yourself up with light first before you send it to others. So, some time ago, wow. So today is 11/2/2022. So it's 11/2/2/2. Yeah, 4 twos. Some time ago, I was, within the last year, I was at my sister-in-law's house. She is a very spiritual person. House is full of crystals and all that good stuff. And I was watching TV to go to bed, and it was one of those times where, like, my vision was just, I was spacing out, but it was more than spacing out. And I felt so much love around me, and a sequence of 4 twos. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it was a channel. Like, I just knew that I was working with that energy, 2222, which is what today is, 2222. And then I pulled this card for you guys about the healing codes, which I believe that was a healing code translated into a way that I could interpret it. So that's the energy that I'm going to use today when I transmit energy for you guys, and we'll see what comes of that. So I don't know what it means, but I just knew that I had to share that with you guys from that card. But yeah, how are you going to nourish yourself today? Maybe you should receive some healing energy from Jacqui Mancuso. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. Bonnie put the name of the deck in the chat, The Gateway of Light Activation. And this one is by Kyle Gray. Karen is healing from surgery right now. This really spoke to me. I love it. Roxanne, a beautiful card. Helen knows that those ETs are with us, huh? All right, so I will talk you through a grounding meditation just to feel into our bodies, and then I'll transmit some healing energy for you guys just for a few moments, and then I'll talk you out of the meditation and we will say our goodbyes. Vicky, beautiful. I just bought my first oracle cards. I didn't know why until your cards just now. Oh, so glad that you listened to your guides and you followed their lead to come here today. Violet, yesterday I saw 2 coyotes in my yard. Today I saw 2 wild turkeys. 2, 2, 2, 2. Love it. All right, guys, so coming into a comfortable position, seated, lying down, maybe even walking. And taking a few deep breaths to settle into your space. And bringing all of your awareness now to the contact points that you have with the surface beneath you. If you haven't already, closed your eyes, allowing them to float closed on an exhale. And just tuning into how the weight of your body is completely supported by Mother Earth. And bringing all of your awareness now directly above the crown of your head in an egg-shaped white orb of light. Just for a moment, separating your awareness from your physical body. Practicing detachment. Learning to view life from your eagle's perch. And now acting as the curious observer as this egg of awareness cracks on the crown of your head. Slowly feeling your awareness flow down the back of your head, over your temples and ears, running down your forehead, eyebrows, eyelids and eyelashes, dripping off the tip of your nose, flowing down your cheeks, dripping off the lips, your chin, your jaw, flowing down all sides of your neck, running off your shoulders, flowing down the upper arms, passing over the elbows, down to your forearms, passing over the wrists, into your hands and fingers. Bringing all of your awareness up to your chest and pausing here just for a moment, tuning into the beating of your heart. Tuning into the breath, feeling how the ribs expand and contract with the breath. flowing further down the front side of your body, coming to the belly, feeling into the organs resting behind the abdomen. And noticing how the breath causes the belly to rise and fall. And flowing further down into your pelvic floor. And bringing all of your awareness to your upper back. And slowly flowing down the back side of your body, dripping off the shoulder blades, weaving in and out the backs of the ribs, and flowing down the mid-back, the lower back, down to your glutes, and flowing your awareness down the upper legs, passing over the knees, down to the lower legs, passing over the ankles to the tops of your feet, feeling into the toes and the soles of your feet. Breathing deeply as you feel into your entire body. Attempting to spread your awareness throughout every cell of your body at once. Using the breath to open the central channel of energy within our bodies by breathing in deeply through the nose and watching the breath as it travels down your spine all the way to the root chakra in your pelvic floor. And as you exhale, watch the breath reach up your spine to the crown of your head. Inhaling down to the root and exhaling up to the crown. Continue for a few rounds in silence. Releasing the breath back to your natural rhythm. Beginning to imagine roots growing down from each contact point you have with the surface beneath you. Watching these roots as they travel down, down into Mother Earth, pushing through the soil, digging deeper and digging wider. Firmly grounding yourself into Mother Earth. And welcoming in your guides and angels for any assistance they may have to offer at this time. Allowing permission for this healing energy to be received by intending to completely surrender to the healing energy as it nourishes your highest good. Bringing your focus now back inside of your body, allowing your thoughts to flutter away as you receive this precious gift of time for yourself. Allow yourself to be fully present within your body, noticing anything that may rise to the surface as I keep track of the time. Returning your focus to your breath and feeling into the weight of your body resting in space. Imagine a brilliant, glowing ball of sparkling golden light in the center of your chest. This warm ball of light surrounds your entire heart. On each inhale, this light becomes brighter and more vibrant. And on the exhale, the ball begins to grow in every direction throughout your body. Inhaling as the light shines brighter, and exhaling as the ball grows larger and larger until it encompasses your entire body. The golden light slowly fades away as the connection to this energy transmission closes, allowing you to return home to yourself. And taking the time now to send gratitude to your guides and angels, and listening in to receive any last messages. And slowly beginning to bring some movement back to your body, wiggling the fingers and toes, rolling out the wrists and ankles, and stretching out your body in any way it's calling you to. And perhaps bringing the palms of your hands together, rubbing them back and forth, creating heat with friction. And cupping the warm palms over your eyes as you begin to blink your eyes open, allowing the light to peek in through the cracks as you slowly bring yourself back to your physical body. Thank you so much for joining me today. Love to all. Namaste. Let me know how that was for you guys. I'm interested to hear if you had any visuals, any energy patterns, any shapes, anything. I'm just very, very curious. The energy that I got out of that was to let you guys know to allow things to crack open in order to reveal the light within. Like your outer shell is just holding the light in. It's okay to fall apart. 'Tis the season. Scorpio season. 'Tis the season to literally break everything down. It doesn't have to be scary if you trust that there is light waiting to emerge. Thank you, Alexandra. I have a hanging plant right in front of me here. I think there's a fancier name for it, but it's called a fish hook. It has a bunch of hangers, and there's like little fish hooks as the leaves or whatever. And right after I said that, something dislodged. Something cracked open in the plant, like letting us know, like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Crack open. Because what's inside is pure light, pure love in all of us. In every single person, there is pure love in there. There's just been so much soot piled on top for one reason or another. You know, some people have more soot than others, but there is light inside of all of us, just dying to get out. Let it out. Don't care what people think. right? As long as you're acting from love. Today's been wonderful. I will be back on Monday, and I'm very, very excited for my session on Monday. I received, all those messages just popped through. So the other day I woke up in the morning and I had one of those downloads where I just kept having things rushing out of my brain, but it was a channel. I don't know. I have a lot of stuff to say on Monday about how to use the energy of this lunar eclipse. We've had a lot of intense Scorpio energy, and it has, it's taken a few of us for a loop, but it's all for the greater good. So join me on Monday. That's going to be a great one. Thank you, Miriam, for your donation. If you guys have enjoyed today's session, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, those are always appreciated. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, either for readings of multiple kinds or for healing or whatever, just to chat, you can find my website in my Insight Timer teacher profile. So check me out, see what I'm all about, reach out to me. Let's chat. All right, let's see. Literally all of this popped through at one time. Jennifer, thank you very much for your donation. Thank you, Sandy. Vicky says, thank you, I'll be back. Can't wait to see you again. Jacqui had 2 more individual cards jump out during the Reiki transmission. I've got the hang of it now. Good, it's all about just a little bit of practice. Love it. Jane, have a beautiful day. Thank you. Alexandra, purple light pulsating and the whole specter of bluish pink lights. Oh, that's lovely. Lovely energy. That seems very like mermaid-esque. That's the energy behind those colors that I'm feeling. Monica, felt heat through my heart and lots of energetic flow through my head. Oh, I love that. I love that. So, I mean, I'll be transparent. During that transmission, I was sending healing energy to you all, but I'm not a guru. I'm not like this person that is here to heal you. I'm here to teach you how to heal yourself, okay? That's like, I'm very clear about that. Like, there's nothing special about me. I just have some tools. I've learned some stuff, and I'm literally trying to pass it on to the rest of the world. So in that transmission, I typically, right, I'll intake energy from source and then I press it out to you guys, to the whole world, but, you know, intending that people who are here and who have accepted the energy receive the energy. Today, I literally intended and I witnessed your own source light beams coming down into the crown of your head. So, Monica, that's awesome that you felt that, because that's what I was trying to give you guys. I was trying to open the channel within you so that you can receive this type of healing energy all of the time, that you don't need to go seek out an energy healer to receive healing energy. Yeah, cool. That makes me very happy, Monica. That worked. I did it. Let's see what else. I really want to see what you guys are all saying, because that's awesome. Dorothy was encased in a spinning diamond. How lovely. Oh, beautiful. Courtney, there's construction going on in my building, which is very loud, but I still felt relaxed and in touch. I kept seeing a bright sun and thinking of abundance. I love it. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Anique. Thank you, Michael. Shauna, I feel that watching the yellow leaves fall from my backyard tree. It's a beautiful transition. Yeah. Letting stuff fall away, right? Trees let their leaves fall away every year, but they come back more vibrant and beautiful every spring. Jacqui, I feel I have me a whole mini spread. I love it. Oh, Allison, I got the message that the light is already inside. Let it shine. Oh. Michael saw a circular energy burst of red, orange, yellows, seemed to be pulsing and emanating energetic light. Beautiful, Michael. Red, orange, yellows. I mean, fire comes to mind. I feel like that's like a cop out energy, but that's definitely lower chakra, grounding energy. Have you been in the clouds a lot, Michael? Jacqui, what are swords and wands symbolic of? As far as tarot goes, swords are air, so like the mental plane, using logic to cut through things. And wands are the fire element, so using your passion and your vitality and your energy to burn through obstacles. Allison was gifted a painting, oh, with a huge golden sun and elephants. I love it. I love it. Lots of sun energy here, too. Michael and Sandy, thank you very much for your donations. Michael, nice. Allison, I was reminded of a painting I've already done. Oh, a sun over elephants. The color that I saw in a breakthrough moment. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Sandy, you felt that? The energy coming in. Love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. That means you were open to accept. Monica, haha, I was a tree for Halloween. I tell my clients to stand tall like a tree as I use essential oils on their spines, especially the balance and grounding blend. I love it. I love it. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So much good. Thank you guys for joining. I'll be back on Monday, and that is all. I hope that you guys got a lot out of this little Oracle demo, Oracle tips. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I know that I use every day, and I'm learning how to remember that not everyone knows what I know. Like sometimes I feel like talking about this stuff is like too basic, but I forget that like I'm in this world all of the time, and not everyone is in this world all of the time. So I'm really glad to hear that you guys benefited from today's talk. So maybe I will do more of these. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of the donations. They're so appreciated. And I hope to hear from you guys soon. I hope to see you soon. Namaste. Love to all. Take care.